Well, welcome back to the Be Unexpected podcast. And today we have with us former University of Nebraska-Omaha and Drake University point guard Ayo Akinwole. How we doing, man?
Man, I'm good, Jake. I'm pretty good, man. I appreciate that introduction, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. So Ayo played at UNO when I was there as student manager, and then after that, he used his COVID year to go to Drake. But before that, Ayo, you want to share a little bit about growing up, where you from, what kind of stirred your passion for basketball, and what kind of led you up to today?
Yeah. So like you said, we met uh freshman year of college at UNO. And then right before that, I was at Papillion-Lavista High School for 4 years. Played under Coach Moore and played with my good buddy Ed Chain. We went to the
Mm.
state championship. Unfortunately we lost. But I was in the Omaha area since my middle school years. Before that, I was moving around. My mom and my stepdad were in the military, Air Force, so we moved from state to state. Every 3 years. That's kind of how they do it. Lived in a few different places, man. Some places people wouldn't even believe that I
Mm.
actually lived there. And then, but yeah, so I think I just picked up basketball when I was real young, maybe 4 or 5 years old. My mom put me in a small little league, and ever since then, even though I'm kind of short, I just been kind of trying to put my all into it, and I feel like I have a pretty decent gift with it. So, I'm just trying to continue it on, man.
Sweet. So, like, when you were growing up, who's your favorite, like, NBA player or player you looked up to?
Definitely Dwayne Wade.
Mm.
Um, Back when he was killing it in Miami. I was actually a fan before LeBron came to Miami,
Mm.
but
Hmm.
that just made it even better once he came
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah, man.
When you were younger, leading into high school, you guys had a pretty good high school at Papillion, right? Did you guys make it to state every year?
Um, we made it 2 out of my 4 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Freshman year we were terrible. Uh, yeah, and then my sophomore year we were good, but the state was pretty good. They had Kyrie Thomas,
Mm.
Justin Patton. They
Okay.
had some really good talent across the metro. Malik Kaluchweki,
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Hahn,
Mitch Hahn.
Trayshawn
Nice.
Thurman. They had really good.
Yeah.
Um, my sophomore year, they had really good talent around the metro, so we didn't make it. But my junior and senior year, we made it.
And then talk
Nice.
about so in Pavilion, talk about the recruiting process with obviously UNO and probably I'm assuming Coach Eberhardt and whoever was recruiting you, but then obviously there's other schools recruiting you.
Hmm.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so it was definitely Coach Eberhardt. That was my guy, man. He
Hmm.
he brought me into UNO, calling me, hitting me up, sending me letters and stuff like that. There was a few other schools that were in the mix, maybe like South Dakota State, South Dakota, um, Wright State, Milwaukee. Those were just smaller schools that were hitting me up. They never officially offered me. So the only offer I had coming out of high school was Darren Hanson, Coach Eberhardt, and UNO. And I think it was just the perfect fit. I met some of my best friends to this day. Even though we haven't talked in a while, Burnside, I respect you a lot, man. Like a lot of the things that you used to do for us back in the day. I don't know if you remember KJ, Zach Jackson, Zach
Hmm.
Thornhill, Matt Powell, all them guys. Mitch Hahn,
Hmm.
like I said earlier, those are some of my best friends to this day. So going to UNO was probably the best decision of my life, even though that was really my only offer. I'm
Hmm.
glad that's how it shook out.
So, like, how does the recruiting work? Like, you played AAU ball, right, in the summertime. So, do
Yeah.
all these coaches come and, like, watch your games and can they come up and talk to you or talk to your coach?
Yeah, so yeah, like what they call it is live periods where the college coaches can come to the gym, the AAU tournament, and sit like directly on the sideline, basically like their parents. And
Mm.
they got all their papers and stuff, and they're just watching specific guys. So back then, it was a little less hectic as it is now, but the coaches were still able to come out and just check you out and there's specific times during the summer and the spring when they can contact you. There's a lot of deep rules into it. You would think I know them all now as a GA for Drake, but it's still a little fishy with everything. There's a lot of rules about it. But yeah, so they can hit up you, they can hit up your coach at any time, and it just kind of goes from there. Back for me specifically, I think they were hitting up Coach Moore, Papio's head coach, and Thomas Lichty was my AAU coach. So it just went from there. And then once I got old enough for them to contact me, they contacted me, and the rest was history.
You shared earlier your AAU and you played with Ed Chain at Papio, but who were some other guys on your AAU team? Was it Team Nebraska, or do you guys go through Iowa or Kansas?
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. That's a good question. So I started off on Team Nebraska, which was a big organization, man. Pretty much all the guys that, have played at the next level from Nebraska have played with that organization, Team Nebraska. But what had happened when I think we were in 6th or 7th grade, there was just some disagreements about things. So our coach decided to open up his own team called Omaha Elite. And some of the guys I played with on that team were Gwuka Rope. He just made a long run in March Madness with San Diego State. Isaiah Poorbear Chandler, he played for Wichita State. My boy Aguirre, he played out at Fresno State. My guy Marcus Wilson, he plays pro now. He played at Lehigh. I played with a guy named Logan Strom. He had offers in football and basketball. He was a hell of an athlete. I played with a few other football guys. Zion Williamson, Zion Williams. Sorry, Williamson's the
I
famous
was
guy.
like, dang.
Like what?
Yeah.
He ended up playing football at Troy. But yeah, so we had some talent, man. We had some really good players, and I think that helped elevate my game every day going against them and stuff. So it's a great question, bro.
Wow. So like going through all that, what was the environment like when you made the state tournament? Like, it's a different kind of thing. Like, I mean, everyone comes out for the state tournament. I mean, that's kind of like your goal as a middle school kid. Like, I'm gonna win state tournament.
Yep.
And were you guys pretty good, or did you face a lot of adversity through those 2 years you made the state tournament?
That's a good question. So my first time we went to the state tournament was my junior year. We had a really good team. We were just kind of young. We ended up losing to Omaha South. They were really good that year. They had some guys, and they ended up winning the championship. So then my senior year, we played in state again. First round, we played Miller South. It was a close battle at out game, 9 points, whatever. My second game, we played against Kearney. Now that's my favorite game I've ever played in my life. Their coach was talking crap to me, to our players, and their guys were feisty. They fought. Those dudes from Kearney were tough, man. But we got them out of there, and then we moved on to Norfolk in the championship. And yeah, that was when the nerves really hit, man. Like once you got to that championship game, every seat was pretty much filled up. You're in Pinnacle Bank Arena. It was definitely a little nerve-wracking. And Ed, one of our better players, he ended up getting hurt. He twisted his ankle in the game semifinals. So, I like to look at that and be like, that's the reason we lost. But you don't want to blame it on nothing specific. But yeah, it was good time.
So growing up, back to growing up, when you were moving around all that, was that kind of cool as a younger kid, like moving around, checking out new places, or was it like, gosh, we're moving again, or what was that going through your head when you were moving?
Bro, definitely the second one. I hated it, because I was leaving all my good friends, wherever I was at, I was leaving them. And, as a young kid, you're just nervous. You're like, man, I'm not going to meet anybody else, even though it's the easiest thing when you're a kid. But I used to hate it, man, like leaving all of my friends behind and having to go meet new ones, because those first couple of days at the new school, those were rough. You're sitting at the lunch table by yourself because you don't know nobody yet. Or you're sitting with the other new kids and you make friends with them. But usually your hobbies and your passions don't really align. You're just the new kid at school, so you just share that commonality. But so like I just think it definitely helped me though, man. Like, I ended up getting my degrees in communications, and I think like even going all the way back to that, like just being able to communicate with new people and introduce myself and do all that. I think it's helped me overall, man.
Yeah.
You know, starting in new places and things like that.
So like, like you said, communicating, but would you say basketball kind of helped you through that time and moving through different places? Because
Yeah.
everybody wants to be friends with the guy that's really good at basketball.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, that is a fact, man. And
Yeah.
I definitely say when I moved to Nebraska in middle school, I definitely felt that. You know, I was new, but people didn't really care because, you know, I was playing sports, football, basketball, whatever it was, and it was easy to make friends, like you just said, man. Good. That's a good call, Wyatt.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone wants to play with or be with the
It's like,
good athletes, right?
yeah, if you're not good, like, I don't know about the new kid, but if you're good, it's like, the
Like
new
we're
kid's
inviting him
awesome.
over.
Yeah, it's
He
like,
can't dribble a
come
ball.
over to
We're
my
not
house.
inviting him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
going into college at UNO, share some of your experiences, your memories there. A couple really good teams there,
Mhm.
and people that impacted you along that journey leading up to
Yeah.
Drake.
So, you know, I get there to my freshman year. You know, we had a really talented team. We just kind of didn't put things together, man. I don't know what was wrong with us, but you know, I think we battled a few injuries and things like that. So our freshman year wasn't the greatest, but you know, we had a good core coming back. And our sophomore year, or my sophomore year, I believe Burnside, would that have been your senior year?
So I was 2 years, so that was my senior year. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So we came back ready, man, and you know we had a good staff, good support staff, and we went all the way to the championship of the Summit League tournament. Ended up losing to North Dakota State, even though you know I think we beat them both times that year. It was
Mhm.
just you know it was the worst. It's hard to beat a team three times. But
Mhm.
yeah, we were that close to going to the dance, man. But you know that year, even though we fell a little short, as people might say, you know, we didn't fall short with each other. I think, you know, that brought us all closer. You know, we built some different friendships, some great friendships through that. Like I said, a lot of those guys I mentioned earlier were on that team. My junior year, we kind of rebooted. We had to pick up some new guys. Um, Still good players. You know, I just think the team didn't really mesh as good as we needed it to be. We ended up being like right at 500, 16 and 16 that season. And then my senior year at UNO, you know, it was just kind of it went downhill, man. I think we ended up only winning 5 games out of
Mhm.
30, 5 and 25. Um, you know, as selfish as this might sound, you know, I still was able to get my points off. So, you know, I had a pretty good year that year, but you know,
Mhm.
obviously it didn't translate to anything winning wise. And you know, after that, I ended up putting my name in the portal, and that was the COVID year. That was the same year as COVID. So what they did, they gave everybody another year with COVID, and then
Mhm.
I decided to leave and go to Drake. You know, I was kind of upset though. I missed NIL by like 1 year, man.
Uh-huh.
These
Yeah.
dudes are cashing out now, man. I don't know if you guys know
Yeah.
about that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
What's
I
it
would
like
think,
when you go in the portal? So do you go to like compliance and say, hey, put me in the portal, and then like do you have coaches hitting you up, or
yeah.
what's that like?
yeah.
Oh man, now that so you know how you asked me earlier about my high school recruiting, and I told you it was just
Yeah.
one. I had one look, one offer. But when I went into the portal after UNO, that was kind of like my recruiting process, man. I dwindled it down. I probably had 20 to 30 schools reaching out, and it was really cool, man. And it was hard to make a decision. Ended up going with Drake because they are a pretty high level program. The year before they just went to the tournament. It was still only 2 hours from Omaha. My grandma was living in Omaha at the time, so I was just like, I still kind of want to be able to get back to her. Uh, so overall, I think it was a great decision. We ended up going to the dance this past year, so uh, and I met a lot of great people. But yeah, being in the portal is pretty hectic, man. Especially if you got a little bit of stock or whatever. I'm not trying to toot my own horn at all, guys, but like it, the coaches they're relentless at it because they're trying to
Mhm.
get their teams figured out, and it was definitely a pretty good process. I just remember maybe an hour or two after, Georgia Southern was the first team that hit me up once I had entered the portal from UNO. And a lot of people were shocked that I entered the portal. But I just felt like, after 4 years at UNO, I just wanted to kind of see something else. So it was pretty interesting, man. It was a great experience.
So like you were a team captain on UNO, right?
Yes,
What
sir.
did you learn about like just being a leader
hmm
as a player that helped you now in the coaching field?
Mm. Yeah, man. I would say, like, you got to come uh, every day ready to work. Obviously, everybody kind of knows that, but also you got to set the example for the rest of your teammates and everybody that's on the team, especially the young guys. And by that, getting the practice early, leaving late, and even like little things like grabbing the extra bags, that people want to kind of defer to the walk-ons or to the young freshmen. If you're at the top, one of the older guys, and you just grab a bag, it kind of just shows your willingness and your unselfishness to just help out with the team. So I like it's something simple, but I think just doing little things, little acts of just I don't even know what the word is. Just being humble, really.
Mhm.
Like no matter who you are, even what you've done, just being able to relate to everybody on the team.
Did you probably learn a lot about leading like in your senior year when you guys weren't as good? And it's like, well, I guess I can't be down like I'm the captain, so I gotta push these
Exactly,
guys.
man. There
Mhm.
was days, every day, we were coming up short, and I'm just like, man, what do we got to do to try to flip this thing around? We ended up only winning 5 games, man. I think 3 or 4 of them were D1, so like one or
Mhm.
two of them were non D1. So we had a really tough season that year. But I definitely learned so much, just kind of how to like carry yourself and how to be confident. You have to stay confident regardless of what you guys are doing on the
Mhm.
court, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys make the tournament at Drake, or how'd your season turn out
Yeah, so my,
when you?
my when I was playing, we lost to Loyola in the championship of the MVC
Uh,
title. Um,
Uh,
so that one hurt. But then this past year, when I was as a GA working with the coaching staff,
you
we
guys
uh,
made it.
we won. We beat Bradley in the NBC championship, and we ended up playing Miami first round. Miami made it to the
oh,
Final Four,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we had them on the ropes, man. But they just have some guys over there, some dudes.
Yeah.
So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Along this whole journey, who were a few people that really stuck out to you? It's like, wow, they had a pivotal impact on not just my basketball career, but like on life and just how to do life.
yeah, like looking back on it, that's a great question. Um, Definitely Coach Eberhardt. You know,
Mhm.
things have kind of went a little different route with me and him just because of this me leaving and stuff like that. And now he's over at South Dakota, but it looks like he's doing great. He helped me out a lot. He was probably one of the first people to believe in me uh, with basketball. But also, I don't know if you remember Lindsay Ekarekru. She was
Mhm.
the academic advisor. Yeah,
Mhm.
Lindsay was really cool too. She
Yeah.
she helped me with all my classes and everything, man. She just kept us all on track, really.
Yeah.
So she was great. Mike Martin, he was the team chaplain back when I was there. I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but him and his family were always welcoming and they had open arms to everybody, man. So they were great. And trying to think, man. If I could think of some more, I'll let you
Yeah.
know. But there's
Yeah.
been a lot of people, man. Pretty
Hmm.
much everybody that I've encountered has helped me in some way. So
Yeah.
those are just three that I could just think of straight off the top of my head.
So today you've been coaching. Like, what are your dreams for the future that you
Mm,
want to accomplish?
yeah, man. So like I I'm kind of I dabbled into the coaching life, and I obviously love basketball, and I want to kind of stick around this sport as long as I can. Um, so in the future, if everything played out the way I wanted to play out, I want to go try to play overseas for a few years, man. Get a good just experience over there. See how it goes. Um, Obviously it's not the easiest route, but I have a lot of friends that do it, and I just want to kind of see how it is. I work on my game still, and then in the future, once the ball stops bouncing, I would love to probably get back into coaching. using what I did here at Drake as a GA, kind of on my resume. Because it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff you got to learn, like how to operate the video software that most colleges use. How to look at all these advanced statistics and things like that. How to make graphics off of Canva. It's good traits that you learn. So yeah, that would probably be those would probably be my two immediate goals. And then after that, just kind of see what happens. But regardless, if everything goes wrong, man, and I can't end up playing and I don't end up coaching, I'll probably use my communications degree that I got from UNO, and maybe try to work in the back offices of a sports team. Let me think what it would be, like a communications intern or something. Something like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That would be a really cool experience, and especially being with the GA. I'm sure there's more than just recruiting and coaching. All of, like you said, with Canva and just all this like software detail stuff that you got to stay up to. Just the way that the game is going now, you got to stay up to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, real quick, your Heat are playing the Celtics. They gonna pull it out or what? They gonna?
I don't know, man. That's gonna be a great series. I've been asking people. A lot of people are picking the Celtics. I think Jimmy Butler. Did you guys hear what Jimmy Butler said last season? They're kind of bringing it back this year. He said.
What he said?
So last year, I think it was Celtics Heat as well in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they ended up losing in 7 games or whatever. The Heat did, and Jimmy Butler on the press conference, he said that we'll be back next year, and next year we'll have our full roster. So, him saying that, bro, he's one of the guys out there that I don't want to go against.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm hoping the Celtics pull it out. But I don't. Jimmy Butler, dude, he's crazy good. Like he put that 56 points against the Bucks. I mean, and his story is just like crazy how he grew up. So he just like is a warrior, dude.
Yeah, he's
I
a
don't
warrior.
know.
It's gonna be interesting to see him versus Tatum. It'll be interesting, man.
It will be.
What's your
For
prediction?
sure.
What's your prediction?
I'm hoping Celtics like in 6 or 7. But I don't know, dude. Like they scared me against the Sixers. Luckily, the Sixers just choked and shot themselves in the foot. That really helped. But I mean, and Tatum is good, but it's like he's kind of streaky.
Yes.
We almost lost. He played terrible, and then the fourth quarter came in Game 6, and he did great. And I was like,
Fleshed it out.
okay, it's just like crazy.
He said,
What do you think, Jake?
Yeah. So I would love to say the Heat are gonna win, but I just think the Celtics are. I just think they're better. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the Heat. Probably gonna be the Celtics though.
Yeah.
It looks like the team to beat those Denver.
Yeah.
They just look like the complete team, dude. Like
They look good.
I don't know. They just seem like they don't have any weaknesses.
Yeah.
So
They look great, man. We'll see. I hope LeBron gets by him though, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I would love a Celtics Lakers finals. That'd be pretty dope.
America.
So,
Well, hey, Ayo, thanks for joining us today and sharing your story leading up to UNO, to Drake, and to what's going on now. We really do appreciate it and the impact you've made on my life and also just so many other people I remember the young little kids coming to UNO pre-games and shooting hoops with you guys to just everything. We appreciate it.
yeah, thanks.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys for getting me on the pod, man. This is awesome. Hopefully, one day, if I ever get a pod or if you guys ever want, to get me back on here, man, please do. And I love this type of stuff, man. And I think I might even start a podcast myself. So if I get one, I'm gonna get y'all on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Man.
I'm serious, bro.